Imagine being the first person to ever send a payment over the internet. New things can be scary, and crypto is no different. It's new, but like the internet, it's also revolutionary. Making your first crypto trade feels easy with 24/7 support when you need it. Go to Kraken.com and see what crypto can be. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss. Cryptocurrency services are provided to U.S. and U.S. territory customers by Payward Ventures Inc. PVI DBA Kraken. Visit PVI's disclosures at kraken.com/legal/disclosures.
Time to move? Skip the hassles of selling during the holiday season and sell your home directly to Opendoor. Request an all-cash offer in minutes, close, and get paid in days. You can even pick your close date so you can move after New Year's. Start your move at Opendoor.com or download the Opendoor app. Opendoor is represented by Opendoor Brokerage Inc., license 02061130 in California, and Opendoor Brokerage LLC in its other markets. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Optimal Finance Daily. If more people did money like they play Monopoly, they'd be a lot better off. By Barney of the escapeartist.me. Quote, imagine playing Monopoly and never buying assets or investments that generate income. Imagine you just went around collecting $200, giving your money to the rich, and trying to stay out of jail. This is how most people live their life. David Henning. Nobody ever went to Monopoly Business School, and yet on some level, everyone knows how to win at Monopoly. For those who'd like a quick reminder, here's how you win at Monopoly. Firstly, you have to decide to play, and to play to win. As soon as the game starts, you buy all the assets you can afford and keep adding. Once you've bought an asset, you aim to hold it forever. You stay out of jail. You try not to stay at hotels that you can't afford. You hope for good luck, it helps. You avoid distractions and you stay in the game. Similarly, we could say that everyone knows on some level what they should do to get richer. It's just that only a certain percentage of people are willing or able to consistently follow through and do it. Consider the following thought experiment. Imagine 4 normal people playing Monopoly like they conduct their own personal finances. Player 1, Ken the consumer. Ken watches the adverts. He thinks he's somehow immune to them, but actually it's all sinking in, and those consumer mind viruses are getting stored in his internal hard drive. He believes that they would be happy if only they had a faster car, an iPhone 19 Pro Max S, or more Uber Eats. He spends all of their $200 salary on the aforementioned trinkets and so never buys an actual property. Player 2, Ben the borrower. Ben borrows money using a credit card. The credit card carries an interest rate of 29% per year. Ben uses that cash to buy properties with a rental yield of 5% per year. So he pays a 29% funding cost and earns a 5% rental yield. Can you see the problem here? Ben's compounding machine is running in reverse. Player number 3, Dominic the Doomer. Too busy doom scrolling on their phone to even roll the dice. Dominic's dopamine system is completely fried by their addiction to news and social media and sugar and junk food and alcohol. By complete coincidence, Dominic is now suffering from poor mental health. He believes a 14-year-old girl on Twitter who told them that the whole game is going to end in 5 minutes' time. So what's the point of even playing? Player number 4, Frankie the Flipper. Frankie has watched a lot of YouTube videos where someone promotes their amazing proprietary trading system that has beaten the market over 100% of the time frames cherry-picked to sell their course. This taught Frankie to day trade FX options, NASDAQ stocks, coins, etc. from home, no experience required. So now when Frankie lands on Park Lane, he buys the property and then flips it on to another player 5 minutes later for a quick 3% profit. Can you see why Monopoly is easier than real-life investing? There are fewer distractions. In the game of Monopoly, you don't live in a world of temptations. These temptations encourage people to spend their investment money on consumer trinkets or get-rich-quick schemes. The prison camp system makes it harder for you to escape the 3 C's: conformity, convenience, and consumerism. It's hard to hold down a high-paying job or run a business, but it's simple to manage your own portfolio and create a system that works for you. You're smart and already knew how to win at Monopoly. You do not need me to tell you this, but you only really know it if you do it. Or to be precise, you only really know it if you have already done it. Carl Richards wrote The Behavior Gap, a good book about the gap between 1, what we know that we should do as investors, and 2, what we actually do. In a world where equities returned 8 to 10% per year, the average investor only achieved 2.9% per year. Why the gap? Because investors churned their portfolio. More trading incurs more fees. They FOMO'd in and bought at the highs and then capulated and sold at the lows. This is why it makes sense for most people to dollar cost average in each month. It's emotionally easier, and that's generally how we save and invest for the future. That gap between asset class returns and the returns achieved by the average investors is a shame. But the even bigger loss is failing to get started in the first place. The biggest loss is failing to buy assets that will provide you with a growing stream of passive income over time, if you get your compounding machine set up correctly. People are still adjusting to the shock of higher interest rates and increasing cost of living. The housing market is on the floor right now. But make no mistake, a new bull market for all risk assets is on the way, and the next one is going to be a biggie. Do you already have your earning, saving, and investing system up and running on autopilot? Would your portfolio run along happily even if you slipped into a coma for the next 3 months? Are you using your tax shelters? What is your target asset allocation? How do you track your net worth? Do you have a 1-page financial plan? Get rich slowly, but get started quickly. You just listened to the post titled, "If More People Did Money Like They Play Monopoly, They'd Be a Lot Better Off," by Barney of the escapeartist.me.
Imagine being the first person to ever send a payment over the internet. New things can be scary, and crypto is no different. It's new, but like the internet, it's also revolutionary. Making your first crypto trade feels easy with 24/7 support when you need it. Go to Kraken.com and see what crypto can be. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss. Cryptocurrency services are provided to U.S. and U.S. territory customers by Payward Ventures Inc. PVI DBA Kraken. Visit PVI's disclosures at kraken.com/legal/disclosures.
Bored with your boring cardio? Stop pedaling that snooze cycle to nowheresville and try some cardio that's actually fun. Supernatural Fitness, available on MetaQuest. Isn't that right, Jane Fonda?
Cardio will never be boring again.
Sweat to the beat of thousands of chart-topping songs inside stunning virtual landscapes.
Bet your stationary bike can't do that.
Visit GetSupernatural.com and join the next fitness revolution. Supernatural VR Fitness, only on MetaQuest. Rated Teen for Teen.
I stand firm in my belief that investing should be the easiest part of managing your money. If you invest early and often in low-fee total market index funds, compound interest is going to magically carry you across the finish line of your financial goals. But the financial services industry tends to overcomplicate this. They convince us that we need to try and beat the market, or time the market, or pick the right stocks, or some other flavor of overcomplicating the incredibly easy and efficient process of growing our money. Investing can be simple and easy, but our emotions around investing, namely fear and greed, tend to get in the way of what makes logical sense. We're afraid to make a mistake, or that we don't know enough about investing to get started. Or we let our greed guide us to the get-rich-quick scheme that sorely disappoints us in the end. You likely know how to play Monopoly because you read the rules and you had some practice. The same is true when it comes to financial literacy. Just read the rules and practice them. Experiment with tracking your spending, budgeting, living below your means, and saving and investing each month. Over time, the game of money is easily won. But that'll do it for another edition of Optimal Finance Daily. Thank you for listening, And I'll be here again with you tomorrow. So I'll see you there, where your optimal life awaits.